Hey everybody, it's Mr. B again. It's nice to see you. How's it going? Okay. I'm just going to get started right into this. Although it's fantastic to be with you again. Thanks for letting me help you do some cool drawings today. Today, we've got an interesting one. This is a drawing of a house, a tree, and a mountain. And I bet you already knew that because you guys are so smart. But one thing about this drawing, and I'll say this, if your brother's in preschool or your sister's in preschool and they're drawing like this, that's a really good drawing. Even in first grade, this is a great drawing. But we can do a little bit better. Even some adults I know still draw kind of like this. But we talked a little bit about it if you did the dog with me, but if you didn't, you're still gonna be able to do this, so don't worry about it. We're gonna make this drawing look a little bit more realistic just by changing the sizes of things and moving them around on the page, okay? We're gonna do something called foreground, middle ground, background, okay? The foreground is kind of what it sounds like. It's the thing that's foremost to us. It's the closest to us. The middle ground, well, that's the stuff that's in the middle. And the background's the stuff that's far, far, far away that we can't see. So the foreground is generally on the lower third of the page, okay? That's where the foreground is. The background is generally on the top. And then the middle ground is in the middle. Okay? Now in this drawing, there really isn't too much difference between everything because the house goes all the way up. The tree's the same height and so is the mountain. The ground is all the way down at the bottom, okay? So what we have to do is we have to figure out a way to do the same things in the drawing, but change their sizes and move them around on the page so that we can figure out how to make our drawings look a little bit more realistic and a little bit cooler, okay? It's a little bit tricky, so if you have trouble with it, you might have to start another drawing later or maybe watch the video again, especially if you're younger. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do is get out my handy eraser because guess what I did? I left my eraser back in the house again. I don't even know what I was doing. Ninja, are you here to draw? No, you're here to fight? Ninja, I thought we were friends. Ninja, no. Wait, you're just kidding? Ninja, you had me going there. I didn't even know what I was thinking, but that was a knee slapper, Ninja. You want to do some drawings today? Awesome, Ninja. High five, Ninja. Ow, you still have that ninja strength, don't you? Ninja. Why don't you sit right here, Ninja? All right, Ninja, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna use my handy dandy fake eraser. Like I said, if you're drawing on a whiteboard, you're gonna have to use a tissue or a real eraser. I just keep forgetting mine. Otherwise, you're gonna get your hand all dirty and your sleeve all dirty on your fake eraser, and you're gonna have to go wash it again. Okay, so we're gonna use the same size piece of paper. You can do it on a whiteboard, you can do it on a chalkboard. When you're done, you can use paints if you're using paper, or you can use markers or crayons or colored pencils, or even pastels if you have pastels at home. You just have to be careful because some of that stuff can get dirty. Okay, so we talked about the foreground, the middle ground, the background. We always know, or we've learned that the horizon line is where the sky meets the ground, okay? Since this drawing is outside, it's where the sky meets the ground. And we talked about that it doesn't have to be perfectly straight. It could be hills or mountains or things like that. Well, we did have a mountain in our drawing, but I'm gonna draw a hill first, just like this. And we kind of talked about the higher up on the page it is, the further into the background it is, right? So this part up here has now become the sky, boop, and it has also become the background. This part here is still the foreground, and this is the middle ground. It's just not, it's a little bit confusing right now because we didn't put enough stuff on our drawing. Right now it just looks like a squiggly line across a piece of paper. No one would know what it is. But we're gonna have to add a house, a tree, and we're going to add a mountain. So the first thing I'm gonna add is I'm gonna add the tree, and I'm gonna leave the tree about the same size it was before, okay? It's about this size. This might be a little bit bigger than it was, but it's pretty close. So I started with my Y tree, added some more Ys, but then I actually put some leaves on it which is kind of like that blob shape that we've been talking about, or like a cloud shape. So that's all the leaves and the foliage on the tree. Now, as you can see, I have a line going through here. Now, because I'm using the whiteboard and dry erase markers, I can just go like this to get rid of mine. But if you're using a pencil, you could just take a pencil and you can erase yours. It's no problem at all, okay? So now I have a tree. Looks pretty big right now. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw the house. Now, if I drew the house the same size, the drawing would be almost the same as that first drawing that I did, and I said we're gonna change it up a little bit, okay? So now I'm gonna draw the house, and I'm gonna draw the house right over here. I'm gonna erase that little line in the middle so it's easy to draw. Add my roof. This is a pretty simple house. If you know how to make better houses, you can go ahead and make a better drawing of a house. Here's the door, here's the window, here's the other window, and here's the other window. There, I've got a house. Wait, what's that, Ninja? What did you say? When you look at the drawing, it looks like nobody could fit in the house because that house is so tiny. Well, Ninja, the way I'm drawing the picture, what I'm trying to show you is this tree is closer than that house, so that this tree is more in the foreground and this house is more in the middle ground, okay? Right now the house could be in the background too, but we're gonna change that, Ninja, right now by adding our mountain, okay? So we're gonna add maybe a mountain back here, and then another one coming in front of it. Down over here, it's a big mountain. Now, the mountains are higher, Ninja, come here, come here. The mountains are higher on the page than anything else. So I'm trying to show you that the mountains are probably in the background, okay? The tree and the house are at about the same level, but the tree comes all the way down near the bottom, and the foreground's in the bottom. So the tree is the foreground of our drawing. That's the closest thing. The house is up here on the hill. We can tell the mountains are behind it. We can tell the trees in front of it now because of the foreground, middle ground, background, and because we overlapped the mountain behind the house, okay? So this guy is in the middle ground. It's not a super tiny house that only ants could live in. Now comes the fun part, okay? If that's a little confusing, you can stop the video, rewind it. If there's something that I forgot to tell you, you can send a message to me and let me know, and I'll go over it again. But now we've done this drawing, and we know these are the background, right? We had kind of talked about in the dog drawing adding things in the background. So you could add things here. Maybe you wanted to add some clouds. Okay, we added some clouds to the background. Maybe it's not a super cloudy day. Ooh, I got a good one. What if this what if this mountain were a volcano? That's kind of cool. What do you think? Yeah, that'd be neat. So we could draw some lava drips coming off of it. Maybe some lava shooting out of it. Running down the side. Boy, oh boy, whoever's in that house better get out of there because there's a volcano erupting. Maybe some smoke. So this is the part where the imagination is the only thing that could stop you. I could draw a snake. If I drew a snake right here next to the tree, he'd be about that big, right? But what if I wanted the snake to be in the foreground? I got a snake. He's got some big googly eyes. And he's looking at us. Okay? So I could put a snake. If the snake is that big, it's not some, no, Ninja, it's not a crazy monster snake. He's just the closest thing to us. He's most in the foreground. This guy's now, he's not as much in the foreground because we put something in front of him. He's in the middle ground, and so is the house. But the house is further away from the tree. Okay, that's called perspective. So when we talk about foreground, middle ground, background, we're talking about a word called perspective. Okay, that's what this is all about. You can continue coloring your drawing or something like that. But if you're a little bit confused about perspective, foreground, middle ground, background, we'll talk about it again. But really fast, right now, Ninja's way back here, right? If Ninja starts, like take your fingers, how big is Ninja? Is he this big? Is he this big? Now hold your fingers. I'm gonna walk him towards you a little bit. Now you have to move your fingers with Ninja, okay? Look at Ninja. What's happening to your fingers? What's happening to your fingers? What's happening to your fingers? Okay, so what just happened there was Ninja actually was just getting closer to you. Ninja wasn't really getting bigger. He always stayed the same size, okay? But the closer that something is to you, your perspective is that it's bigger. The further away that it is, it looks smaller. So that's something to keep in mind. I hope that wasn't too confusing. We can go over a lot of this stuff again in, next week maybe, or whenever you see the next video if you want to keep watching them. And like I said before, if you're having fun, take a picture of yourself drawing or have someone take a picture of you, or you can send one to me, just a picture of your drawing if you want. Hopefully next week we'll get into some painting and some other things. We'll just have to see what goes on. I just wanted you to know that I'm happy to be here with you. I can't wait to see you again. I'm glad that you're doing drawings with me, and I hope that everybody's having a good time at home and everybody's staying safe. So for Ninja, for Mr. B, for Perspective, Background, Middle-Ground, Foreground. Oh, you know what? We could have named him Ninja Snake. You could have been Ninja Snake. Not as funny? Okay. Well, signing off, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you very much.